Yeah, the Hive was one of those projects that the CSU was never really able to get off the ground for whatever reason. There was, it's difficult for the CSU to really do anything major like that because there's always turnover, and starting a cafe can be quite challenging. So you'll have one year that's really gung-ho, and then the next one comes in and they don't fully understand what's going on because maybe they were, the opposing team that ran the elections or whatever. But for whatever reason, the CSU wasn't capable of getting it off the ground. So I was on the CSU for 2 years, and that was specifically, even when I ran for the board of the CSU, it was to kind of like, I ran on a mandate to essentially kick out the corporate provider in the student space because the opportunity costs don't really make a lot of sense. Sure, we might make a bit of rent by giving it to a third party, but we don't have the community value that's there. We don't have the governance control. We can't support the local economy in the same way by deciding directly who we purchase off of, and we can't kind of curtail the market ethos of the organization by, taking a slightly higher price from somebody so that the money stays in the community. Because it's not, I think the corporate approach is very linear. It's obviously straight for profit. Anyways, so the Hive is now occupying that space where the Java U used to be, but the original Hive project was at Loyola campus. And we got kind of lucky to get the downtown location as well. It was always in our crosshairs, but it was kind of challenging, or nothing was really clear until it was. So anyways, we came in and we worked on it straight right away as soon as we got into office, I guess you could say. Myself and the VP Loyola, her name's Crystal Harrison. She was working on the construction side of things, and I was kind of working on the political side of things, like building momentum. I also did fundraising, and it kind of came into existence in a very political way, you could say. There was a lack of, at Loyola there was a real issue that we were resolving. There's a lack of food, lack of quality food. It's kind of like what a lot of people refer to as a food desert. So there was like a lot of appeal there and a lot of political momentum behind getting something going there finally. And the first year that we were in office, we had really tangible gains. Like the construction plans were well underway. And then when I was running for the president with my team, I had fundraised about $70,000 with the help of other people, of course. And so we had a very tangible, like, it's not completed yet, but we've done these things and this tangible thing. And so that really gave us, I guess, a bit of an advantage when we were running to take over the union as a whole, I guess you could say, the next year. Well, at least on the executive side of things, because our team was running against, like, I was a former executive and we were running against another executive. So we were running against each other. So, but students voted for us because we had a clear vision, which was to create the Hive on both campuses. And this was, of course, supported by referendums and petitions and the creation of the Concordia Food Coalition, and which I was deeply involved in. And the other team kind of seemed as though they were putting a bunch of like sticks in our wheels. Of course, they would never say that that's what they were doing, but it certainly seemed as though that's what was happening. And so that's how it was seen by I can imagine that's how it was seen by the student body. Obviously, I can't read their mind, but we got elected and we really won in a landslide. And it really was it was a food campaign that we ran on, so, and a community campaign, but a food campaign. And then it was just a bunch of hard work. We have profs that are supporting it. That we had one prof who had been on the board since the beginning, and now he's gone. We have another professor that's on the board, which is really important for the continuity. We've had our first year of operations now, and had 2,300 members in the first two months, which is a really good sign, I think. It shows that there's a lot of community support, and a cooperative model relies on this. And it's actually pretty astonishing that students wanted to pay $5 just to be able to shop at like this cafe, but also they could have a say in governance and things like that. But because it's such a young cafe, it's difficult to involve the members as much as we'd like to, but there still seems to be general support, which is really hopeful. And we're at the point now where we're trying to move our cooking in-house so that we can reduce our costs and then increase our revenues and all this stuff. So that we're always kind of looking to the 5 to 7 year plan, which is of course to be capable of taking on the rest of the university's food service contract. Because, they're not going to hand it over to just anyone, so we need to be a well-run machine, but we also need to be a very vibrant community space. And so yeah, we're balancing those things right now.